the last time you saw a kid collecting comic books? Or collecting anything for that matter, other than likes on their pictures and apps on their phone? But I used to love collecting these. This was a time when they were 12 cents a piece. Now they're $4. Do you know if milk went up at the same rate, we'd be paying 11 bucks a gallon? And the average car cost, well, that'd be $66,000. But you know, since I had all my old comics, I thought it would be a good idea to come up with an interesting project based on my old pastime. So I took one of the books that had an interesting cover and I scanned it into the computer, uploaded it to Walgreens, and I had 6 pictures printed, 8x10s, for under 15 bucks. Now, using a special layering technique, I'm going to make an amazing 3-dimensional work of art. Something you can hang on your wall. Are you interested? Well, keep watching. This layering technique I'm about to show you is also known as paper tole. It's not an easy process to get good at. It takes a lot of practice. I've made over 50 of these and sold about half of them at a gift shop. So don't worry if you try this and your first attempt isn't very impressive. While the Iron Man prints are 8x10, I'm going to mount it into a 10x12 frame. So I start by taking a 10x12 piece of plywood and covering it with black paper. On the top of the paper, I carefully center the first print and apply it with an adhesive spray. I cut out a cover to protect the black border because I know from experience that an accidental drop of glue is going to ruin the background. The first step is to look closely at your image. What's in the background? What do you want to stand out? We start by adding layers in the background and then working our way forward. We'll be cutting out dozens of sections from the 5 prints. You can use small, sharp scissors, but to do this, I found that a new blade on an X-Acto knife works the best. I'm going to start by cutting out the letters. Now, one of the secrets to cutting out shapes is to extend the cuts beyond the letters. This way, the objects covering the letters will overlap and give a more natural look. This is going to be the same for many of the other shapes I'll be cutting. Here's what I cut out of my first sheet. Before I begin piecing this puzzle together, I like to darken in the edges of all the pieces using a black marker. Now, this extra step gives the images a more natural look instead of seeing a white cut edge. Here's all the pieces I've cut so far using 2 prints. I'm going to start by layering the pieces with what I've got now, and then I'm going to cut more specific pieces as I need them. Now, I'm using a black foam poster board to raise the letters evenly. If you notice the foam in between the board, it's actually black, which is also a bonus because white will stand out more. I cut a thin strip of this, and then I'm going to cut that into short segments. I carefully apply some silicone to center these on the letters. Some more silicone on top of the segments, and then we can start positioning all the letters. Making a picture in 3D is really an art form. You can put as much detail and time into them as you like. You can use photographs or greeting cards. Famous artist reprints are also available online. Norman Rockwell is one of my personal favorites, and they make wonderful 3D images as well. Before I get to the final steps in the amazing Iron Man 3D picture, I wanted to talk a minute about framing. You can use a standard frame, but you're going to have to modify it. My picture is going to be about 1 1/4 inch thick, so I'm going to have to build an inside frame for my print. That's 1 1/4 inch thick using 1/4 inch plywood or other wood that you have around. And then we can mount our picture on it. I'll show you how I do this step in just a minute. For the frame itself, I'm using one from this picture I picked up at an estate sale. I'm going to disassemble it, rough up the finish, clean it using some paint thinner, and then I'll add a coat of primer before applying the final paint job. I tested several colors before deciding on the red, which kind of matches Iron Man's suit. I'll also add some touches of yellow accent stripes as well. For the frame extension, I cut 1/4 inch plywood into 1 3/8 strips. I'm going to do a test fit into the frame and cut them to the exact length. I'm using this mini drill chuck, which will accommodate very tiny drill bits. I do this so I can drill pilot holes into the plywood for the nails. This prevents the wood from splitting. So now I'm going to reveal the final picture before I put the glass in the frame. Otherwise you're going to see a lot of glare. Ready? So again, the camera really doesn't do this justice. In person, this thing looks incredible. In fact, the Incredible Hulk and Iron Man. Thanks for watching Alley Picked. I hope you enjoyed this video. If you liked it, give it a thumbs up, subscribe to Alley Picked, and if you'd like to be notified of future videos, click on the bell. Until next time, I'll meet you in the alley.